I'm a fan of that, or I want to celebrate, and they may not get the platform or light because they, what I mean, not necessarily famous like in that genre. Like I like to interview coaches or of that people of that sort, or maybe an artist, maybe some whatever you love doing. You know, I'm interested on why do you love what you're doing, and I want to hear about it. So I try to give a space to anybody. It could be music, it could be LM with his poems, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? I know Ice do music. You know, I know you guys y'all join the pen when y'all show love, but I feel like everybody got a talent or some shit like that. You feel what I mean? Or there's something that they into that they love that people would know and celebrate. You never know how you could impact a person's life just by them hearing your story. You know what I'm saying? So I got a show called Fan of the People where I'm gonna do the lives, and I'm gonna do videos too. So I'm gonna do videos and I'm gonna do lives. Try to, you know what I mean? Just add more to the channel. I mean, word. What up though, man? What up, John? How you feel
Hey,
about Power in the lineup tomorrow?
we finally get to see Drake Powell play some basketball. I mean, that's one of the things we wanted to check off the bucket list for the Nets this preseason. And it'll just be good to see Drake Powell play. But also shout out to you too, Breezy, for expanding your content. And that's how we Brooklyn people roll, man. We always looking to evolve the content, no matter what. But yeah, it's great. It's great to see Drake Powell just play some basketball tomorrow to see what he's about. But everything I'm hearing behind the scenes, his athletic ability, his defense. Like I wanted us to draft Drake Powell and draft on. I'm really glad we did because I feel like his defensive skill set really fits what Jordy's trying to build with his young guys. So I really just look forward to him playing this preseason and hopefully he gets some good minutes his first season in the pros to show what he's about. So I'm excited to see what he can do tomorrow. But also at the same time, this 2-game series in China is important for the guys fighting for position spots like Tyrese Martin, Dariq Whitehead, Jalen Wilson, etc. So we should see the minutes in these 2 games that these guys who are fighting for those final spots play. And I think we'll learn a lot in these next 2 games based on
Yeah,
who's
but
going to make the roster or not.
but that's why I'm saying, like, again, it's about expertise. Cam Thomas got into the league from LSU because he was this elite scorer. Drake Powell got into the league, from what I'm hearing, because he's a great perimeter defender and he's an
Right.
athlete. So I'm saying that to say you got a chance to show us that. We going
Exactly.
versus Booker, and we going versus Devin Booker and Jalen Green. If you got good perimeter defense, if you talk about, do you want to get in that rotation, this is where you do it. This is where you prove it. They said and Cam Thomas too. He got to play defense too. But at the end of the day, that's not his priority. And the reason why I tell you that is because strategy wise, you're supposed to protect the best scorer on your team. You cannot afford to go on droughts in the NBA. You go 2-3 possessions without a score in the NBA, you're gonna go down. You're in points. You're gonna get the game tied, or they're gonna take the lead. You cannot just continue to have possessions without scoring. Somebody like Cam Thomas, the offense like to attack when they on offense, when he's on defense, to get him in foul trouble. So that way, when he sits, there's no other shot creator. So now they can play a certain kind of way where they have the advantage because the Brooklyn Nets are not protecting him, knowing that he's the best scorer. And it's not just about him. It's the fact that he's the best scorer. It's the same thing for Giannis, and why they got Brook Lopez and they got Bobby Portis to protect Giannis, because we don't want to get Giannis in foul trouble. That's always going to be a strategy in the NBA. You know what I mean? That's just, again, me, being observant of the game. Now I'm saying that to get back to Drake Powell, we don't need him to score like Cam Thomas. If he lock up, if Green get his points, but he shot for less than 45%, if we could get Drake Powell to get Green shooting uh, high 30%, low 40%, he did his job. He did his job. These players, they gonna get their points. But if he could slow him down and should keep him at a low percentage, he did his job. The same thing for Booker. I hope they put that stat up where they show the specific player guarding that offensive player, and they show how many attempts at the basket or whatever happened with those two players. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, I definitely agree. But here's another thing: I don't even know if Jalen Green's playing. I don't know if you heard, but he's been dealing with a hamstring injury lately, so
Nah,
I don't know if he's ready to play right now. So it might just be Devin Booker and Cam Thomas duking out tomorrow. And for Cam Thomas in particular, I want to see him continue this extra pass playmaking subs. I feel like for Cam in that first game, he really was trying to find his teammates, and he was also showing that he still got the Chef Killer Cam clutch shot. So I feel like for this 2-game series against the Suns in China, it really is Cam's chance to show how more consistently he is as a playmaker. And of course, he's going to find his scoring opportunities against the Suns, but he's definitely going to be somebody to look out for tomorrow morning on the playmaking side again. So I feel like he really is trying to buy into what Jordy wants him to do on that side of the game. And for Drake Powell, just show the defense, show athletic ability, and his scoring will definitely be an interesting project his first year because we don't know what that high ceiling is yet with his offense. But the defense, like you said, against whoever he has to guard tomorrow, will definitely be something to look out for as well. And I want to see more of what Noah Clowney can do as well. The dribbling he showed in that first game and the confidence with the three. I want to see more minutes with what he can do as well. So there are definitely some guys to look out for tomorrow on their continued progression.
But just kind of slowing it down. I want to see because I see Ice in the chat, with Fanbo. If I can see some type of PNR with Cam Thomas and Fanbo, I think Cam Thomas is going to be looking for Fanbo. Let's call it what it is. The elephant in the room is that we as Nets fans be a little disappointed that Yego's not playing in the first 2 games.
Definitely.
I mean, I don't know if maybe I'm just speaking for me, but that's how I feel. Like, I can't even compare it to these other guys because he's not even playing, so I feel away. But case in point is you'll get Cam Thomas and Fanbo in a lot of basketball action because Diego not there. Essentially, without Ben Saraf, Cam Thomas is running point. Yeah, they're gonna start Ben Saraf over Cam Thomas, but Cam Thomas gonna be in that lineup. If Ben Saraf goes to the bench, Cam Thomas' role changes to the point guard. You feel what I'm saying? Because Diego not there. I mean, they might give it to Nolan, but I don't know. Nolan fast. I think he need like a veteran, man. He need a veteran to teach him to slow down. Like not slow down, but like Kyrie knowing how to hit places in the backboard for it to go in, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because he's 6'1", Kyrie Irving is 6'1", and I think Nolan Traore is like what 6'2".
6'1". 6 oh no, he's 6'4".
6'4".
6'4"?
Yeah, he's 6'4".
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Traore 6'4".
Well, what you think about Fanbo? How you feel about him and what the impact of him and the whole China NBA thing, like him being on the roster? I think it's strategic. What you feel about Fanbo and him playing in China, getting minutes in China?
Yeah, it is. So I can't even say that word. I think it is, what I'm saying, good for the Nets to have him, good for China, good for business. But the thing about being good for business is you got to be a good player, right? That's the only way business works. You can't be a sorry player in business works. He's actually nice, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a mystery man. Drake is a mystery man. Yegor, we seen a little bit of him in Summer League. So Fanbo, I know a lot of fans want to see him play because, like we talked about on here, he is so skilled. He's a skilled Asian guy, which you don't see too many of. They are, players who play. Of course, we probably don't see them all because, they're probably not in the NBA or nothing like that. But you see Yuki on Chicago, he'll be out there dropping dimes. He like 5'10", But he the mystery. You want to see with the 6'11" Chinese lefty, one dribble, two dribble, crossover, putbacks, athletic. You want to see that on the court because we don't have nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? So he different.
So what kind of numbers you think he put up tomorrow?
Light numbers. He probably get like 6, 7 maybe. depending on how long he played, if they play him, they should play him tomorrow. He should get some, you know what I'm saying? That's his
Right.
spot. He should get a lot of minutes. They should let him just run, you know what I'm saying? Let him show out.
Mhm.
And you know what I'm saying? If they like it, they like it. But he should get a lot of minutes. That way he could showcase what we haven't seen since his injury. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Shit. What injury is that? What injury is that?
I wish I could remember off the top of my head. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was a back injury or knee injury. I want to say a back injury, but I
You
don't
saying
want to,
who?
you know.
Fambo?
Yeah, Fambo. He had an injury because we would have had him by summer league, but they was waiting for his injury to heal, and it was waiting for the contract. We had to do something with the contract with the league that he was in. Had to wait for them to sign off on it, and we had to wait for him to get healthy or something like that because they wanted him to play in the summer league. You know what I'm saying? So we had to wait on those two things in order to get him to sign on a 10-day contract or Exhibit 10.
Okay. All right. Well, we gonna see what's up, man. Because if he could get if he could get the Brooklyn Nets 10 points, I don't know, 6 boards, um, you know, and like I don't know, 2-3 assists. Yeah, man, leave him on the roster. Leave him on the roster. And ain't no lie, I want him to take a lot of shots. Let him go. It ain't no way we gonna have Fambo saying and he gonna get. He need 13 shots or more. Like,
Right.
Ooh,
Right.
let
okay.
him shoot the ball. In China, let him run. Hey, man, if when you go to Toronto, even if you not this be funny and not like that, you don't want to let him rock in Toronto. I ain't from Toronto now, man. But he's from China. Give him the ball, man. Everybody gonna be watching. All his cousins. Come on, man. Shut up.
Here's the interesting thing, though. Whatever minutes Fambo gets, who's not going to get those minutes? I'll tell you this: if I see Drew Timmy and Dariq Whitehead only get minutes like near the end of the third quarter to the fourth quarter, you can already tell Jordy has both of them as like expendable choices at that point. So if Fambo plays, let's say the third quarter with Jalen Wilson, it's definitely going to be very tight between Drew Timmy and Whitehead on the bubble because if they're not playing even in like beginning of third quarter in the 2 games of China, it kind of tells you like Jordy knows kind of the rotation he wants to do already. It's unfortunate for Whitehead and Timmy, but this is kind of what we're kind of expecting based off of what they've done in training camp. And it just seems like guys like Fambo, Kobe Buffkin, like these guys are definitely just pushing their way forward at the expense of those guys. So these tough choices will have to come up within the next week and a half. But this is how we're trying to find the next Brooklyn Nets. So that will definitely be something to monitor tomorrow. Who gets what minutes and whose minutes are Fambo and Kobe Buffkin potentially taken away tomorrow. That's definitely a storyline.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I want to see if Fambo get 10, get him 12, let him get 22. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, get him a hoop. Like Cam Thomas and Fambo, they gonna double Cam Thomas. Green cannot guard Cam Thomas. He cannot. I don't know. Booker might be a little tougher, but Booker ain't trying to get in foul trouble trying to guard Cam Thomas. Booker,
Yeah.
I ain't saying it like that, but he ain't. You think he trying to D up on Cam Thomas? I don't know. And my thing is, let them play more than a half. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too excited. You don't want to get them hurt or shit like that. But that first half, that shit should be exciting.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. You know what I mean? We still got guys that you haven't seen, like Grant Nelson haven't played for us yet either. Fambo haven't played for us either. The guys on a two-way play, Etienne and I can't remember, Liddell played, and then we still got a two-way roster open, two-way spot open. So I'm hoping that Fambo get that last two-way spot so he ends up in the G. You know what I mean? Because we still got that's the only spot we really got left open. We got like Johnson, we still got cut down the roster, and it's like still like 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And another thing is,
listen, man. Listen, I like NTNA, but him, Dariq Whitehead, and Timmy, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's around that time, man.
And another thing is, Bobby Marks said that if the Nets do waive, let's say Wilson, Timmy, and Whitehead, they might have to make one more salary dump move because there'll be, I think, a few million below the regular salary minimum they have to reach. So if the Nets do waive 3 guys, they might have to make a small trade right before they have to finalize the roster on what is it? It's October 21st or 23rd. Like I think it's like a day right before regular season starts. So the Nets might have to make one more move after waiving a few guys. So that'd definitely be something to watch as well, especially with certain teams nearing that cap apron 1 and 2. So the Nets might be bracing themselves for a potential small salary dump as well if they have to waive those 3 guys. So
Yeah,
they're
I'm not. I'm
definitely
not
there.
gonna lie, John. I was kind of waiting to see you on the panel just to tell you, like, yo, I follow your content, and I haven't been a fan as of recent, man. All of these different trade scenarios for Cam Thomas, it be driving me wild, bro. Like, I'll be honest, bro. I'll be heated when I see it, because at the end of the day, there's no replacement to this guy. You can't replace him with Drake Powell. And none of your content, a lot of the content that I see, that has no real replacement. Not just you. There's no real replacement for Cam Thomas. If you're gonna invest in Brooklyn, if you're gonna invest in 5 first-round draft picks, why not pay attention to the draft picks you already got? And it's not just about Cam Thomas too. It's about Clowney too. Like,
That's a good.
let me ask you this: how would you feel if Clowney just stopped getting minutes just because MPJ came to the scene?
I don't think that's a possibility. But I would say this:
But you
whether
see
you
what I'm
like what.
saying, though? Would it make
Yeah.
sense for that to happen just because a different player come from a different team? You don't give him the opportunity.
Well, Clowney should get as much opportunity as possible because he is putting in development work, and we kind of know MPJ is going to be semi-retired in a year or two. But I'll even say this briefly: listen, just to everybody, whether you like my content or you don't like my content, you still respond to my content, and I consider that a big victory at the end of the day. But briefly, listen, at the end of the day, when Cam Thomas signed a qualifying offer, this is no disrespect to him. I'm even giving him certain the credit for trying to buy into Jordy's system, but at the end of the day, once he signed that qualifying offer, it's almost like we're waiting till December 15th. I keep saying this to you, Breezy. November is Cam's big month to really decide where his value goes, not just this season, but year after year, based on where he signs next summer. And for me right now, look at the relationship between him and Sean Marks. I don't see any chance of it being repaired because both of them were kind of content with not wanting to work on a long-term deal together. Cam wanted his power, and Sean Marks has never seen Cam as a main core asset. So as much as I want to see Cam succeed at a certain level, I have to think about the future as well, Breeze. And I agree with you. There is no franchise guy on this team. Besides Cam, there is no franchise guy right now. I think the Flatbush Five, there's a few good rotation guys, but next year's draft, that top 4 is looking historic as far as potential
Yeah, but
4
that's what
straight
I'm saying, bro.
franchise guys.
I'm out here recapping these 82 games, bro. This shit ain't easy. You think it's easy to recap losses and be happy about it, depend on the draft that we might not get? Ace Bailey just dropped 25. Everybody was thinking that we was going to get Ace Bailey and was mad that we was getting quote-unquote meaningless wins. But we don't control that. The NBA is part of the New Orleans Pelicans. Trust me, they maneuver the way they want to. The Brooklyn Nets ain't never got no love. If we gonna do it the right way, it gotta be from the draft. We gotta work with what we got, and that's why the coach is so important. Just look how involved Juwan Howard is. Look what they doing, bro. They trying to develop a winning culture from the coaching staff. And I don't think Sean Marks is in a position to hold a weight where he's flawless. I think he should be critiqued to an extent, but at the end of the day, more the general consensus is strength is in the draft opposed to the free agency. So why not invest in the draft if that's where your stronghold is? You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand what he did. I don't find logic behind it though, because every argument try to articulate my way. I'm not saying I obliterated it or no shit like that, but there's no logic in Sean Marks not putting energy into who he drafts when you just get 5 round draft picks. You don't trade up, and it's the first time this happened, mind you. Like usually they'll take some of those draft picks, move up, and maybe get 2 lottery picks, That's really what I would have thought that he would have did.
Right.
Take some of these draft picks, and work with a team that's also in the rebuild. You know what teams are in the rebuild. You know what teams trying to compete. You work with them. You try to see what's going on. You know you can work out a 3-trade deal, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? My thing is that's can be interesting too. The kind of moves that he makes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one to negate the potential of the players that he drafted. I want to see what they're going to do before I speak on it. We spoke on both the good and bad. I honestly like Ben Seraff in his first game. I do. And if he play like that and we don't got Yegor, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we're going to feel the way that because we got expectations for Yegor being an 8th pick and it being our first lottery pick opposed to, a Ben Seraff who we draft late in the draft. I think 27. You feel me? So we're going to see, man. We gonna see, man. I just know that if he's invested in building a championship roster, elite scorer is always part of the rotation. You try to do it the other way, and these many players gotta score. Yeah, it's true, but you know what? It's an alpha. Siakam on the Pacers, when he need to be an alpha, he's an alpha. When Halliburton need to be an alpha, he's an alpha. When Shea needed to be an alpha, he's an alpha. When Jaylen Brown on the Celtics needed to be an alpha, he was an alpha. When Nikola Jokic needed to be an alpha, he was an alpha. They ignored the potential of Cam Thomas being an alpha. They were not right for that. They were wrong for that. They were wrong. And I will not let y'all forget it. They were wrong. Give him the chance to be the alpha. Watch. He's an elite scorer, bro. Let him do what he do. You win this game by scoring the most points. Why hold him back?
Listen, I think you brought up the great point about Sean Marks and Logic not really working well together because for 10 years, how many times has Sean Marks preached the ultimate goal is sustainability, winning culture, and yet we're 10 years and none of that has happened. And now you draft 5 guys. Remember, the NBA media people were laughing at the Brooklyn Nets. Nobody expected Sean Marks to do that. All the reports you and I saw, Breezy, and I saw as well, that the Nets were going to use these picks to move up in the draft. Maybe go after Jeremiah Fears or the guy that went to Washington, Trey Johnson. Like the Nets were going to do some type of move like that, but instead, no. Let's draft 5 guys and see what sticks at the wall. And at the end of the day, a few of them were reaches. And today they voted and said that Danny Wolf might have been one of the steals for the Nets. And it's like, wow. So no, Yegor's not a steal. Nolan Trier's not a steal. It's the guy you drafted with your last pick that was a steal. Like at the end of the day, this is a huge gamble what Sean Marks is doing, having 5 rookies that are going to need a lot of development, a lot of time and attention from Jordy. And for Jordy, his reputation now is online because he said, I welcome it, I embrace it, I can turn anybody into a decent player. So we're going to see in these 82 games who rises from the pack and who stays here and who doesn't. But next year's draft is just as essential because after that draft, we have no reason to tank whatsoever anymore. After that, it's win, 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 any way possible we can. And for the Nets this year, for Sean and Joe particularly, they cannot screw up next year's draft. There's some crazy, insane talent in that top 1 through 5 bracket. And the Brooklyn Nets have to be in one of those spots, Breeze, if we want to actually start winning and not just being a team in the middle of the bottom anymore.
Even if that's the case, going into next year, we should have, in my opinion, a solidified 2 guard in Cam Thomas, a solidified point guard in whoever we got, because you drafted all of them. You wanted to get it right, you got to get it right. So it should be 2 solidified positions in the point guard and the 2 guard, a solidified 4 and a Noah Clowney. Now the 5 and the 3. You should be looking for in that draft. I don't know. Oh, you're supposed to get the best player available. It's a conversation. It's a conversation. Yeah. If there's 2 great players in that draft and I can get a forward or a guard and I got Cam Thomas, and bro, I'm going to get in the power forward. I'm getting a power forward. I'm not getting another. I'm not going to be redundant. Like, I'm going to get a power forward, bro. That's what I'm saying.
You're not wrong. And I don't know if you've seen Nate Amott, man. I know Ice has seen. This guy's rising up the charts right now. He's apparently now the #1 guy in front of DeBasa and Pearson. It's very early, but I saw some film on Nate Amont, man. Whoa, this guy looks like a way more athletic Kevin Durant. Like he can shoot a midi, 3-point shot, defense, playmaking, and this guy added muscle too. Like I'm telling you, the top 4 next year. Imagine the next 4 drafts. Each one of the guys that are going to be in the top 4 next year, each one of them has a case to be a number 1 prospect in 4 consecutive drafts. So for the Brooklyn Nets, getting one of those guys is essential because, like you said, Breeze, we do need set positions, and it's unfortunate that Cam and the organization couldn't agree to a contract because if they did, we don't have to worry about this BS of, if Cam's going to be here or not. We know Cam's going to be here. And it's like, this is my problem with the organization. That when you don't have guys committed to the process, you have way more questions than you do answers. And I hope at the end of next summer that we do have an understanding of what this core could be on this team, whether Cam is a part of not, whether the Flatbush 5, all 5 of them, or 3 of 5 of them is a part of this. Whoever you get next year's draft is that franchise guy to bring this all together. We need that. We will never be a serious team without a franchise player. And for Sean and Joe, their reputations are way more on the line than they think it is right now because for 10 years they've preached sustainability, doing things the Brooklyn way. And it hasn't felt like that this past summer. I mean, Breeze, you probably talked to a million Brooklyn fans on your show and on different platforms. You know, the vibes aren't exactly 100% right now. We have more questions than answers. Some Brooklyn fans don't want hope anymore. They want freaking results. And I agree with what Leaf said. Like, let's look internally, these 82 games, and after that, let's see who we draft next year. And we go from there. And that's to start winning. The Nets have no incentive to tank after next year. Whether you get winning vets on this team, you go after a star, or you stick with who you got internally, you got to start building winning habits, especially in the East right now that is getting weaker by the minute. Like, the Nets have a window to still get this right. Even though Sean and Joe screwed up last year a lot, the Nets still have a way to get this right. But from now till next summer, it's really going to have an impact on where we're going to be the next 4 to 5 years. Like, this is more important than I think people think right now, Breeze.
But I'm not. My thing is really compete. If y'all really not a good team, I get the whole going for the draft thing. I'm not tripping on that. I feel like that's how a lot of championships or championship rosters are built. The facts show that. Now I'm saying that to say AJ Debonster. Like, if we got a situation where I know y'all like to talk about Darren Peterson. Is Darren Peterson or AJ Debonster because of not because of best player available, but because we got a guard already in Yegor and Ben Serap? See, that's my point. It's not because of Cam Thomas. It's because of Darren Peterson supposed to be a point guard. I know he can play all positions, but it seemed like he got the advantage at point guard. I'm going to go with AJ Debonster. Not because I think AJ better than Peterson, but because, I mean, ain't AJ one of them guys too? Ain't he supposed to be a top 3 pick or something? Am I bugging?
No, you're not. This guy has that Jordan-esque quality.
BYU connection with him and Yegor.
The only problem is if Boozer and Debonster are off the board. If Brooklyn is picking 3, and I think Peterson goes first, me personally, but
over Nate Amont, LM, have you seen what's going on with Nate Amont lately? That guy is rising up the charts.
Nate too. Like I said, like the rankings could be different by April. You know, like maybe we don't know who it could be, but in terms of those top 3, if you're talking about if Boozer and Debonster are off the board, like I don't think you move off Peterson. Like I think you take him and let the chips fall where they may. He's just too good of a prospect to pass up on, regardless of who's on his team. I mean, we still don't know what we got with Yegor. He's injured. So it might be a while to see if we really got what we gonna see with him. How you feel about that? Are you disappointed, or you think I'm putting too much to it? Like,
we should. I mean, this preseason game. It's not like it's a regular season game. You know what I mean? Or do you really want to see Yegor out there too?
I want to see all the guys. Yegor, I've been the sole advocate of letting the rookies play. Like, that's the only way they're really going to learn.
Sole advocate, you don't think sole advocate is a stretch? Sole, like you was on.
I mean, some people, I don't know. Some Nets fans want to see the vets play. Like, it is what it is. But I'm not with was Highsmith and Terrence Mann and these guys playing over Drake Powell.
Stop
Me
it.
personally, I'm not with it.
Yeah,
Like it,
nah, I want to see Drake Powell play over those two.
like
Um,
it's at a point where you gotta throw them in the fire, bro. It's the NBA. They
it's the
they
preseason.
made it. I mean, yeah, true, but where we going
That's
up
what
there?
I'm saying.
Phoenix?
Throw them in there. Let them rock. Let them play. Like
Yeah, but
you
I'm talking
gotta let
about
them
like
play.
the regular season, like from here to April.
Yeah,
Like, let them
hell
go out
yeah.
there, get them the experience. Don't sit them behind A. Smith and Terrence Mann, who's 29, damn near 30. They already are what they
Terrence
are.
Mann 29, 30. Damn, I ain't know that.
Yeah, like they are
You
what
ain't
they are
like
at this point. Let 'em rock.
you like
Like he at 29, he in his 30, he in his prime years. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, let them rock. Let them see what we got with the rookies. Let them see who these guys is gonna be. Throw them in the fire. Like we tired of letting the young kids holding the kids back, babying them. Like they got to go up against competition. Every rookie, especially Diego, he a top lottery pick. Like let him go out there see what Diego is gonna be. Whether it's at point guard, small forward, whatever. Like. Let him
Right.
go out there, let him play against the guards, let him play against the forwards, let him get his strength up, let
Yeah.
him get his shots on, like throw him in the fire, don't baby him. Like
Real quick, because I wanted to slow it down, and I'm not, I heard Fox is injured, and because of that, Harper should start, right?
he should they probably put Castle there. They probably would put Castle, then probably Dylan.
They
I don't
still
know.
gonna start the number 2 pick after Fox is hurt. Come on, bro. They gotta play him.
You definitely got to see what happens with the Giannis situation because the Spurs they can make an offer that I don't think a lot of people could beat if they include Dylan Harper in that package because, like you said, Fox is injured, but if the Spurs get Giannis or Wemby, you might as well write the check at that point. So that's definitely
I
something
heard
to
he's
watch.
trying to make his way to the Knicks. Y'all think that's possible?
You
Listen,
said what?
If he wants to force his way to the Knicks, nobody can do nothing about it. But at the end of the day, the Knicks would have to give up one of Bridges, OG, or Towns to a third team, and those guys are making insane money. OG making 40, Midkel 30, and Towns I think he's making 60. Whatever team that wants those guys, I hope you're willing to pay a price because that's the only way it's going to happen. So and it's going to be very complicated from a financial aspect to do it. But if Giannis wants to win LM, Spurs. I mean, the Spurs have Harper. They have all the picks. They have young pieces, and Giannis is not in the East anymore. So it's the only way he goes to the Knicks is if he forces his way. But if that happens, I'm actually too worried about it because that puts the Knicks in a have to win by any means necessary. And if they don't, we hold their picks to 2031. So if Giannis wants to play ball with them, fine. But I think it works out for the Nets if that happens. Now, if he goes to the Spurs, we don't have to worry about him in the East anymore, and we still have the Knicks picks. So.
No, you gotta realize too, some teams, you know, they not trying to go into no full rebuild. They wanna compete. Them
Right.
asking for OG and asking for Mikal or Josh Hart is saying that we built this championship roster off of defense. We'll figure the scoring out later, but in this Eastern Conference, you need defense. And they went for defensive players, and the Knicks wasn't having it. Now, case in point is, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with the Knicks, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't want the Knicks to win a championship before the Nets win a championship. I want the Nets to win 3 championships before the Knicks win another championship, so we could have the bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. At least I will at least want to win the next one. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm rooting for. It's not that I'm hating on them, but I'm just rooting for us so strongly that I want us to win our first championship before they win their next one. You know what I'm
Hopefully that's the
saying?
game plan by 2030 or 2029, man. Hopefully we in the driver's seat in that. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. I mean, nothing is impossible, but hopefully if things go right in terms of this so-called plan that we got. I mean, you already see what Ace is doing on Utah. People say it's preseason, but I hope these people they're looking at that and they're like, "Yo, we screwed up. Like, we gotta, you
Massively
gotta,
screwed
you
up.
gotta get this. You gotta get this right this year. Like, there's
um
no ifs, ands, or buts."
See,
But
I don't think they're looking at it as they screwed up, and I'll tell you why. Right? Even though Drake had an injury and Yeager had an injury, the one that most Nets fans didn't want is the one that's showing up. So that tells you if the one at the bottom, from how they will look at it, if the one that nobody wanted, nobody understood, is showing out. The guys that we picked earlier, we probably thought they was better. You know what I'm saying? So like Trayor and Yeager and Drake, they probably thought them was better. Look at what they talking about. Danny being like Joker in a way, saying that her passing skills, the way he see the court. So I don't think they necessarily think they made a mistake. I just think that guy that we looking for may be in next year's draft, and they built a passing team that they can just plug one of them guys if they happen to get like Nate or AJ or the band. So you could plug even on Peterson. You can just plug them in because they're gonna fit in with guys who pass because they all them guys are scorers. You know what I'm saying? So you can't go wrong. And I agree with Gilio. The way the team is built now, Cam does fit the team now. Now that you have legit passes, ball movement, he actually fits the team better now because him and MPJ.
So is it fair to say they kind of building around Cam Thomas a little some?
Nah.
Can't say till after December 15, Breeze, and after the trade deadline. If Cam is still I'll say this to Breeze right now. If Cam Thomas is somehow still on this team after February 5th, maybe there's a small chance he stays. But if not, it just this way it looks, Breeze. At the end of the day, me, LM, we see the writing on the wall. We still hope there's a way to move forward, whether Cam's on his team or not. But just the way it is right now. And I agree with everything.
That's it. But my thing is the unmitigated gall of fans just so loosely, willingly, to give Cam Thomas away, just talk about him on a trade block as if he's just Tucson from Walmart.
I don't think that's that, Breeze. I think a lot of
Walmart. That's low, Breeze. We're not
Come on. I'll be like, yo,
me personally, I never wanted Cam traded. Like even if he's on the Nets for his career as a six man, as long as he in Brooklyn, I'm cool. But to me, I'm looking at it as like I already know.
Let's slow it down right there, LM. Six man for who? Like who will start in front of Cam Thomas on
the only person I see is if the only two people I see is if this year we get it right, or if Drake Powell all of a sudden just make a huge ass run. That's probably the only two people I can see. Either if we got Darren Peterson or Drake Powell. Drake Powell is just he's the two guard of the NBA. Like he's the prototypical two guard. Like he might show it when we play at 8 a.m. He might show it to.
What kind of? All right. So when you say, what do you mean? You saying that on the defensive side of the ball, he's good on the perimeter? That's
his size. He just him being his 6'6", 7 foot wingspan, 3-and-D wing at 49-inch vertical. Like he is the prototypical guard. Like he has a scoring game to him as well. He can put the ball on the floor. He's the most athletic player on the team as of right now. Can defend 1 through 4, probably 1 through 3. Can shoot the ball at a high clip. He shot 36% at UNC. Can get to the mid range. You know what I'm saying? He got game to him. That's if they take. I think Cawthorn was saying it on Twitter. If they just let him play, like take the cuffs off and just let him ball out, that is probably the only person I could see that they will put at two guard over Cam Thomas. Other than that, I don't know. But I think Cam Thomas start. But if his upside clicks, like he becomes who he's meant to become, I will put him over Cam Thomas in the starting lineup. But I will put Cam as a six man because if think about it like this, if Drake Powell hit his potential, that means you got an elite 3-and-D starting two guard coming off to the starting lineup, and then you got a guy that can give you 40 coming off the bench as a six man. that is an elite. That's elite for a championship roster one day, bro.
Why not
Like you
Drake
got.
Powell coming off it? But hold on, listen. Let me ask you this, LM. Is it fair to say in today's NBA, the first quarter, teams are putting up the good teams are putting up 30 points plus in the first quarter?
In the first quarter, 35.
First quarter.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right. All right. So
Sometimes.
hold on. Y'all, are you confident that Drake Powell and the rest of that roster that is starting five could put up 30 points with Cam Thomas coming off the bench? Like what I'm saying is strategically going into the game, Jody Fernandez and the coaching staff got to be like, yo, a winning quarter is us scoring 30 plus in that first quarter. Because 9 times out of 10, if you got 30 plus in the first quarter, you're winning that quarter. And I'm not saying they look at it like that. I'm just for conversation. You going into the second quarter with the lead. So that got to mean something. If you're a Nets fan, you know we don't be going into the second quarter with the lead. And that's the reason why I'm saying Cam Thomas over a lot of these players. Mainly my IE is Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. They made them the option because they were supposed to be these defensive players. They was getting cooked. And on top of that, they wasn't scoring at a high value. At least with Cam Thomas, you putting pressure on the offense, on their offense to try to keep up with us because we don't have a lot of drops with Cam Thomas in the rotation. And I want you to pay attention to this, LM. Look at how fluent the offense is running with Ben Seraph at the point and Cam Thomas at the 2. Now, I'm not in the disagreements with LM to those listening about Drake Powell, about what he said. Only thing I want to kind of push back on is him starting over Cam Thomas. Like, I want Drake Powell to do all of those things that you said, and I think he is who you said he is. I just don't agree on that part.
Yeah, but Breeze, you see what Ellen pointed out that he has over Cam? He has the height and the defense, and he's a 2-guard. Cam, unfortunately, as much as he tries to be a good playmaker, I even saw in the first game, it's a struggle for Cam Thomas. Like, he's trying to make the right passes to his teammates, but you saw Breeze against one of those Jerusalem players. He cooked him. He's like, I want to cook that guy over and over again, but he couldn't because he has to fit within the new system. And you saw reasons why Mark's drafted these guys. They all have things that Cam doesn't have. And why would you do that if you don't believe in Cam Thomas and what he can do besides scoring? I think Drake Powell has the potential. We got to see what he does this year. We got to see what he does tomorrow. But he does have the defense and height factor, which Cam doesn't have. So already he's 2/3 of the way there. He doesn't have the offense that Cam does have. And you said, Breeze, who else can score 30 points? Listen, we do not have a franchise guy right now. And if Cam is removed from this equation, damn right Sean and Joe better hit a grand slam next summer, or else this is a failure of the contract situation that you and me talked about in detail on your past podcast.
Why y'all speak on next season as if he can't fit with whoever we draft?
But Breeze, do you see what Sean is doing, though, Breeze? He's essentially telling Cam, we don't see you as that guy.
I'm not Sean Marks, and I'm not talking about the relationship between Sean Marks and Cam Thomas. I'm saying fan to fan, Nets fan to Nets fan. What do y'all see in next year's draft where they don't fit together? You trying to tell me Cam Thomas can play with KD, Kyrie, Harden, Ed Sumner, but he can't play with whoever we fit in the draft next season? I disagree with that logic.
Breeze, there's not a high chance he comes back next year.
No. I'm not talking about the relationship with that. I'm not talking about what is a high probability of what happened. I'm talking about why it's a good idea to start pushing the narrative. What I'm gonna do? I'm pretty much do it by myself. Push the narrative that whoever we draft, Cam Thomas should play next to them. He has shown that he could play next to every teammate, including Ben Seraph last game. And yeah,
so
it was
he can do that
NBA team. We're gonna see him versus the NBA team soon.
It comes down to the defense, please. If Cam can't play a local quality defense, it's hard to keep him that starting lineup, Breeze. At the end of the day,
he's not getting cooked on defense. I'm watching him on defense. He's not getting cooked on defense.
Breezy, he couldn't even crack the 400 last year, and he played probably the best basketball of his career at that point. So, yeah, I checked the stat. He didn't crack the 400. So this year, he has to show you some type of defensive improvement to
I'm not
warrant
saying
staying.
there's weak defenders in the NBA. Like you can find them. Cam is not necessarily. He's not ever going to be a great defender. Like that's
That's a huge problem.
just the
That's a huge
bottom line.
problem.
That's not a
No,
problem.
but
He has
Yes,
to
he
be a
is. Wait,
great
please. It's a
defender, bro.
huge problem. That
But
affected
you
his
gotta,
market.
bro.
that's not. I'm saying
All
he's
the
not
two
going to be a
guards in
great
the
defender.
NBA are not great defenders. Don't make it seem
That's
like
my
Cam
point.
Thomas is
But look,
all
that's
of the guards, all of the two guards besides Cam Thomas are great defenders. That is not true. It's not
they better
true.
defend than Cam.
I mean, Breeze. Why else
So
did
you
Cam get
trying to
the
tell me
$20 million
Cam Thomas is
if
the
he didn't
worst
play
defender as a
defense?
two guard in it?
If you look at the two guards, right? Donovan
Right.
Mitchell is a better defender. I would think so. I think
Okay.
Jaylen Brown is a better defender. I think
Okay.
Ant Edwards is a better defender. I think
Well, he's
I think Booker has improved defensively.
okay.
I think that's four right there. For
Wow.
me personally,
Okay.
me personally, I don't think Cam's not going to be a great defender. But in terms of you just need Cam to hold his own individually. I think that's the thing. Like if he can just hold his own individually, I don't think it's that much of a problem. It's
Right.
just he's just too small.
Bro, I wouldn't even put him in a lot of them. Like I would try.
But look, this the NBA, bro. They switch all the time in the lineups. Like this switches all the time. They use the switch. I got a mismatch. Let's switch. Like that's just what they do. The big guys always target guards. Like that's what they do in lineups.
Right.
Like it is what it is. We seen Tatum target Cam. We seen Jaylen Brown target Cam and Lonnie. Like that's just what they do. We got the mismatch. Let's go 1-on-1.
And that's the problem. We're in a positionless era of basketball, and Cam Thomas, as much as he tries, he doesn't play positionless basketball, and that's the biggest thing. Him and Jordy has to figure out to implement this new system. How can Cam become a decent switch defender? Not great, not good, decent. That's the problem. Yes, Ice. Cam Thomas has to get better as a defender.
Hold on.
Oh man, here we go.
Come on. All right, like Alan was saying, right? There are some people in the NBA who just can't get defense down. They can give effort, but they're not going to be nowhere close to decent. You know what I'm saying? Effort doesn't include decent, right? But the way that you build the team is if he gives effort, the rest of the team can play defense. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes the difference. Right. If he doesn't give effort on every play, then it will mess up the team's defense. So the word is effort. He doesn't have to be, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be at a certain
even him taking a charge, going for a loose ball, diving, like little stuff like that. He doesn't have to guard the best player and lock him down and hold. He doesn't have to do any of that. But if he going for a loose ball or whatever, and it's a clutch thing, and he dives for the ball or whatever the case may be, take a charge, play passing lanes. That's all you really need from Cam Thomas. He don't need to be this Kawhi Leonard lockdown. He's never going to be that. But if he can do the little things on defense, that's going to get the team rolling. That's going to get fast break points. That's going to get team morale back up. Oh, we down. Cam Thomas do something or the morale back up. We can make a run off that play. Like that's the little things that you look for in certain players. I ain't the tallest, cool, but you still gonna get defense played on you though. You still gonna get this work. Or it don't matter if I'm 6'3" or 6 foot. I'm still gonna put in effort to make sure that I play defense and my team gonna get a stop. That's what you really need to look for out of Cam Thomas.
That's what I'm saying. LM, I seen him give effort, and I never used.
I did too.
Yeah,
he's doing it now. He's definitely doing it now.
Right. So because he gives the effort, I don't argue and say he's gonna be a great defender. But at the same time, a lot of what good defense is effort. You make, you know what I'm saying? The defender sometimes, even if Cam Thomas could be one of those players that on the first effort, on the offensive side of the ball. If he make them pick up the ball and pass it, that's good defense. I don't think it's smart for the Brooklyn Nets to just continue to let Cam Thomas be on one-on-one situations. If it's a one-on-one situation and he defends and make that ball, he make the player pick up the ball and pass it, and then they try to go at him again, I think it's up to the defense to help Cam Thomas on that second effort. You shouldn't just
if Cam had
island trying to be a POA defender, if you know that's
if Cam Thomas had Dyson Daniels or Davion Mitchell defense, this wouldn't even be a conversation. Like it wouldn't even be a conversation. That's true, but at the same time, I'm just saying, for me, having Cam Thomas on the team in general, like, I don't want to necessarily see him go. Like, there's been times where that nigga was the main hope on certain teams where most people tuned in to watch Cam Thomas on Yes Network. Like, when he got injured, the ratings went down. Nobody was watching games. That's facts. So the fact of the matter is, he is a beloved net. Me personally, I just want to see him as a net. Now, I don't know what their plan is with him in the starting lineup or how they gonna make that work, but I don't see, even if he don't get traded this year, I think they rework it with him in the all season based on this season. Like, yo, we give you a bigger contract. The money that you want, we'll offer you that. We got money for the season. We can offer you a bigger contract. And he might stay in that. I don't necessarily see him leaving. I know
That's what
people
I'm
saying
trying to say.
It's a small chance, LM.
Yeah,
That
but
many
so
people have ever
what?
signed qualified. Wait. One second. The context of any people.
Time out.
Oh, jeez.
We heard your soliloquy going the other way. Let me talk about the small chance. Now,
Okay.
the small chance. I would like to call this part of the show AI, if you're listening, the small chance. Now, in the small chance that negotiations could be met and they can move forward, a Cam Thomas and the Brooklyn Nets amicably, where both parties are happy with the contractual agreement, we will have solved the offensive side of the ball. Having an offensive threat inside and outside the three-point line in Cam Thomas. Having an offensive threat inside and outside the three-point line in Noah Clowney. Having an inside-outside the three-point threat in, I would say, inside the three-point threat with Yago and Ben Sarab. I won't give them the three-pointer yet. They got to shoot better for me to say they can shoot the three ball. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say, I'm just looking at how they could possibly build this team with Cam Thomas. And there's a lot where he can be implemented and integral inside of the way the Brooklyn Nets can build a championship roster. Like, it's right there for us. I am not giving this up, bro. They didn't give him the chance to be the alpha yet. He only got a small chance when the chance that he was supposed to have was from then to now, from them to try to make it seem as if it is okay to overlook this small chance when he should have had a bigger chance, because he'd have had this chance a long time ago. And because he didn't get this chance a long time ago, and he still has the opportunity, and you got to remember who's in front of him. It made sense for KD, Kyrie, and Harden to be in front of him. But it didn't make sense to either play him or play them. He could have played all of them. He didn't do that. He's not an NBA coach no more. Y'all think it's a game. Listen, when y'all talk about building a championship roster, the Nets focus on the point guard more than anything. That's where they got more of their best players, from the point guard. Yeah, we had Petrovic at the two guard, but they were more focused on Jason Kidd. You know what I'm saying? Just the longevity of it and the success of it. You know, rest in peace, Drazen Petrovic. Derek Coleman they drafted at the 4. They want Noah Clowney to be a stretch 4. When you look at Sean Marks and how he used to play the game, he used to try to be a stretch 4. They want Clowney to work, and Clowney wanted to work. And Wolf, bro, if Jordy Fernandez is talking about Wolf the way he's talking about him, and he was his assistant coach, why he's seeing Sabonis and Jokic play, it just means something. And all I'm saying is, I'm not negating that whatever next year draft is, it can be the best potential. But to ignore what we have now, to just write them off as trash, I'm not with it, John.
Easy. It's not writing them off as trash. Wait. I got to clarify something here. But at the end of the day, most players who sign qualifying offers, I saw on our podcast once, like only one person has ever stayed with a team that's signing a qualifying offer. So the odds just don't look strong. It's not fully Cam's fault. Part of his fault is he thinks he's worth $30-40 million, but market says otherwise. But the other part is Sean Marks, for 4 years, has never said, Cam, you're the guy. He's never given him that craze, never given him that chance. And for Cam Thomas, he said, you know what? You wasted 4 years of my young life. Why do I got to waste it playing your game? I feel like in a sense Cam knew whether he signed a contract or he didn't, he was expendable to Sean Marks. So he's like, you know what? Let's take the Band-Aid off. You want to trade me sometime this year? Fine. I'm still going to ball out and be Cam Thomas. But please, you just have to acknowledge that it's not set in stone. There's a chance of saving this because Sean Marks doesn't know how to get players to invest. Like, look at what has happened with Sean Marks with these players.
What I'm saying is, I'm not in defense of Sean Marks. Y'all want me to, I'm such a big Cam Thomas fan. No. If Sean Marks is wrong for what he's doing, I call him out on it. He was wrong for the Jarrett Allen situation. And I mentioned Jarrett Allen because he's a draft pick. Ain't nothing DeAndre Jordan did that was more important than what Jarrett Allen was doing in his player development 1, 2, 3, and 4th season with the Brooklyn Nets. Nothing. And on top of that, Sean Marks was wrong for that. How long are we going to stand by and be okay with it, John? And act like what Sean Marks is doing, this is what he's doing, and we just gotta live with what he's doing. No, I want Sean Marks to know he's wrong. You're wrong, Sean. You should not be doing this right now. You should absolutely not be letting another draft pick that can help you succeed slip through your fingers. Then don't pretend you don't know or it don't sting that Jarrett Allen became a All-Star the very next season. You're wrong for that. The fans are wrong for being okay seeing our talent get developed here and go and be somewhere and get better the next season and that's just okay. And that's just, you're fine by that. No! The same way LM will call me out and say, yo, you said Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges will be a top 10 duo. I got the right to call out what's wrong when it's happening, whether it's the players or the front office. It's just facts. And again, to put emphasis on my point, John, Cam Thomas, Kuminga, and Quentin Grimes are not wrong for being business savvy. This is also the business of basketball. They know that the quote-unquote market is going to be better for them next season. Why do what the franchise want to do with them when it doesn't behoove them? The players understand that it's business. The franchise understand that it's business. They doing business. I'm saying it ain't as bad as it seems, in my opinion. You're not going to agree on business all the time. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to sell myself short just because I want to quote unquote do good business with you. No, I want to do good business with me. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that I'm good. And again, not just Cam Thomas. And again, Josh Giddey, he made sure that, listen, I'm not budging. I'm keeping it the way I want it. And if they don't agree, then I'm going to just go into free agency next season. They gave him what he wanted, and then he signed that contract. He was being, all four of them were being business savvy. And there's nothing wrong with players empowering themselves and being business savvy with these franchises. That's all I'm saying.
Well, to a certain degree with Cam's situation, I understand. But if Cam and the organization actually did agree to a contract, we don't have to worry about this stuff. In my opinion, I had way more positivity that if Cam signed a deal, we get a full year of what he could do with Jordy, playmaking, the defense, the rebounding, all those things. Not have to worry about, oh, will Cam be here the following year or not? Because that wasn't the worry. It was what this year would be for Cam Thomas to finally prove the doubters wrong, be healthy for over 60 games. Because durability is also one of the things holding him back. So, like, that was the intention before the qualifying offer, but now we don't even know, Breezy, if Cam will be here past the deadline. Like, we're hanging on a thread here, seeing what happens the first 2 months.
I'm not hanging off no thread. I'm
Yeah,
not
but that's
hanging
you.
off
That's
a
you,
shit.
Breeze. People like me have to think about the
I'm not
future of the
hanging off
team.
a shit,
And
bro. I just told you he played best. He played and I don't get no argument, not even from you. There's no teammate you can mention that he didn't play next to and did his thing. None.
For a small sample size,
don't make it seem like we can plug and play Cam Thomas, because you can't. You can't replace what he's doing on the offensive side of the ball. Hold on. And on top of that, he next to Claxton, seen all of these teammates change. A lot of these players can't handle that shit and go through what Claxton and Cam Thomas, they're going through all of these different teammates and staying on the roster, all of these different coaches staying on the same team. Like, yo, they got a tough skin. They built for this city. I would debate fans like you all the time. Anytime y'all want to act like it's, bro, I'm not. Sean Marks is not Sam Presti. I don't hold him to the same regard and say, yo, he's been spot on with everything. He took on Allen Crabbe contract, Ben Simmons contract. He didn't pay Kyrie. He at odds with KD, bro. He hasn't been this squeaky clean for me to be defending him, bro. I'm not clinking Modelo's with him right now. I'm not. I'm being honest about what's happening. I want to see this team build a winning culture. And we got to call out Sean Marks or whoever. I'm saying I don't want the fans to be mad at Cam Thomas for being business savvy with the franchise.
It's not about being mad at him.
Don't be mad at him because he's like knowing what his worth.
It's not about being mad about Cam, but it's like knowing what is next for the Nets. Like you say, take Cam out the equation. What is this team about? I think LM Ice myself can agree that right now Jordy's trying to create a team that can play positionless defense, and you make room for whoever that guy is the next year's draft. That's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it is.
Let's get to the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty is this, and I don't want to hear no dance around the mulberry bush. The nitty gritty is this: after Kyrie Irving left, Cam Thomas led the fourth quarter in points in the whole NBA. Now, I'm saying that to say, if you're a Nets fan, you know we was going on droughts in the fourth quarter a lot. True or not? Exactly, it's true. So this is what I'm saying. It's a rhetorical question. It's true. If in the fourth quarter, the Nets lost a lot of games, why would you trade the player that was leading the league in fourth quarter points because of what? Bro. No, it's no way I'm just gonna sit by and act like it's okay just because it's 1v20 or whatever. I don't care. There's no way that there's any other player that they could get logically that you could put in a transaction where it makes sense and he don't fit in the championship roster. Clowney fit in the championship. Same thing with Clowney. Clowney next year, don't try to one-up him. Even if you want to get a Cam Boozer, get Cam Boozer. I ain't gonna say don't get him. But don't try to make it seem like you should lowball Noah Clowney. Clowney, if he's healthy, the way it looks, him being that serious in the offseason to put on that much weight and muscle, bro, he's serious about not letting Danny Wolf take his spot. Yeah, Jordy talking about him like, yo, he took a word. You see Jokic in him? Okay. He gonna be Jokic on the bench because he ain't taking my spot. Yo, it's gonna be a competition for who's gonna be in the rotation. That's a fact. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be one playing smart basketball, not just the best three-point shooter. It ain't gonna be just about Cam Thomas offense or quote-unquote lack of defense. This team is building a winning culture is going to be about listening to Jordy Fernandez and seeing how you fit into how he wants to win. Because at the end of the day, Jordy Fernandez see the game through a point guard eyes, in my opinion. He always gonna put together a roster where the backcourt makes sense. Always. We got Clowney already. I'm telling you, bro. We know how to build this roster, and I'm not minusing Cam Thomas.
No, listen, I understand your perspective on it. We have to see how the first month and a half plays out. The 7-15 really, we will see what really does happen. But before that, we will see how this team works. And just to say to player one for a second, he mentioned Sean Marks has 2 rings. The first ring was being a third stringer playing 5 minutes. The second ring was being an assistant getting Greg Popovich's coffee. Wake up. He was there at the right place at the right time. Did he play an integral role to earn those 2 rings? Highly debatable. But Breeze, back to your point. Listen, at the end of the day, Cam does have a big month November to prove what he can fully do as being an integral part of his team for now. And I hope he can prove all the doubters wrong, check all the boxes and X's, and just be healthy and available for a full month that could maybe play a part in extending this fractured relationship with the Brooklyn Nets. We really just got to see it play out. And for the Flatbush Five, let's see how Jordy integrates them, because it seems like the goal right now is to have a playmaking team that plays positionless defense and offense. So we really just got to see how that all turns out. But right now, Breeze, to see where this roster could be from now till next year, I think there definitely going to be some changes. And for Cam Thomas, it can go either way right now, just based off what we've seen the last few months with his negotiations with the team.
We'll see. We'll see.
And no matter what happens with Cam's future, I wish him the best luck, because I do think he's a gifted scorer, Breeze. I hope you know I've always stood on that. He's a very gifted scorer. It's just the other aspects of his game. I don't see this organization as wanting to invest in him because they want him to be a player that he can't be. And that's ruining who Cam Thomas is as a person. I'll give you that on that, Breeze.
What? Whoa, what you say?
No, I said that
he's the person. What
no, they want Cam to magically be all the things that he can't be, as far as what he can do physically, what he can do on defense, what he can do with height. Like, there's certain things he can't change about himself. He's a great offensive player who can work on his playmaking, but to the organization, they want way more than that, and that's just what I'm looking at from that lens.
I don't know. Again, like I said, I critique the front office because Joe Tsai is a new owner. He don't come from basketball. And he didn't win the championship. So Sean Marks, he's a new GM. He didn't come from winning a championship, being a GM. Bro, they got something to prove too. And again, that's why I hold Joe Tsai and Sean Marks to a high regard, because they what they have, they can build with. They shouldn't just try to throw everything out for next year's draft, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, I don't want to be long-winded, man. I said what I said. Me and John just gonna have to disagree on this.
Hey, it's a good debate at the end of the day, Breeze. I know John having good debates for you like this.
I seen him. Every time I ask like who he didn't play well next to as a Brooklyn Nets teammate, they get quiet, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not no slight to nobody. That's basically me knowing it's a rhetorical question, bro. He's a good teammate, you know, and I don't see. And again, I watch it through the lens to see what he does on defense and other, if he's doing the other things, and not just him, other players too. Low key, I'm a fan of Clowney too, man. I think him and Cam Thomas is going to be essential to building this team, and as much as we may focus on next year draft, while y'all doing that, I'm focused on the players that we have now. Clowney and Cam Thomas stick out. Trust me. But again, we gonna get back to it. I'm gonna be back because the game come on at 8. So I ain't trying to be up, late. I'm gonna try to watch that game. It's 8 a.m. for us. If you're watching the game today, it's 8 a.m. It's in China. That's why it's 8 a.m.
All right. And it's also on NBA TV. For anybody who has Spectrum, it's on channel 308 NBA TV at 8 o'clock in the morning if you have Spectrum, if you're trying to watch it. Just for anybody who doesn't know that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. But I got, just closing out, I got Tyrese Martin having a good game. I got him having a good game. I got Cam Thomas having a good game. And I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think Drake Powell get a steal or something, steal in the dunk. I think he's one of those players that know how to play the passing lane, from what I heard. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to us win because nobody give us credit from that first game. They said it was an NBA competition, NBA talent. So I want us to win that first game. I always said Cam Thomas was better than Jalen Green, so I want to see that matchup. I want to see them. I want to see the. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm finna close out, but I wanted to say thank you to Brooklyn LM, everything, Brooklyn Nets, Giant, Iceman, the Eskimo. Yeah, Nets fans is the best fans, man. We're gonna be back with the recap really soon. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
All right.